Hello, this is Peter with another video. Today I thought I'd do another update on the Musa Basjoo banana plant, which has fruited this year. Just quickly show you that. So yeah, this plant's not looking at its best now, and that's because we had a storm last weekend. It was Storm Amy. It's completely shredded the rest of the leaves that hadn't been damaged. We've also ended up with a lot of older leaves that have been damaged and will need removing now. Now there's probably not going to be much more growth before the end of the year. Of course, once this gets frosted, it'll be the end of its growth this year, which I'm hoping we won't get until possibly the end of November or even early December sometimes before we get any damaging frosts, but you never really know. Year to year it can vary. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the bananas that have developed this year. I don't think these will be edible in any way. They don't seem to want to ripen up. They've been on the plant now since, well, certainly all of summer. It flowered sometime in May, I think the flower came out, and it took a good few weeks to start opening up. But yeah, it's unlikely these bananas will ripen outside, especially now. It's getting a lot cooler. It's not too bad today. It's about 15 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good for October, I suppose, but it is going to start getting much cooler in the next few weeks. What I will do though is when I do come to remove these bananas, which I'll do before it gets too cold, I'll cut them off and I'll hang them somewhere inside to see if they'll start to go a bit more yellow, and if they do, I'll then do a taste test on them. Now the plant itself, as you can see, is quite mature now. It's been in the ground for a number of years. I think it was 2021 when I first planted it. I'll put the exact date on. But yeah, it's quite a big clump now. Quite a large number of pups. I should have thinned them really. You can see there's the original one here, which has flowered. And then we've got two quite big ones here. Here and here, which will likely flower next year if they don't freeze over the winter, I would imagine, because they're already taller than this one was. There's also that one at the back, which is also pretty big now as well. It's also probably close to flowering, I would say. Now, I think I mentioned it in previous updates, but I did say this year I was going to experiment with not protecting these Musa Basjoo. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. Now I will caveat that slightly because I will be adding more mulch around the base here, just more leaves basically, nothing else, just leaves that have fallen from trees, and also the banana leaves that have been broken like this. I'll be chopping all them up, put them around the base. You can see I've been doing that over the year. All these are from leaves that have broken off during bad weather we've had over the last few months. And yeah, I won't be wrapping up these pseudostems this year, partly because they're just way too big. It's quite time consuming as well, and also I think because of the size of these now, as long as we don't have a really bad winter, I think these should overwinter okay. Of course this one here will be removed because once it flowers it's never going to grow again. So I'll just cut that right down to the base once it's frozen back a bit. And then I'll just chop up all the pieces and put it as mulch at the base of the plant. These smaller pups could take some damage, especially the younger ones. Right at the top I imagine they'll be more vulnerable. But yeah, these larger ones I'm hoping will be fine. What I will say is though, if we get a winter like we got in December 2022 when we had that really bad freeze that lasted about 10 days or so, I will probably wrap at least some of the larger pseudo stems with some frost cloth, just wrap it around, nothing more than that though, and I'll leave all the smaller pups, but that'll only be in the worst case scenario, and I will do a video if I end up having to do that. But I'm hoping we have a relatively mild winter, or even just an average winter, which I think these will be fine in. Now I know worst case scenario, it will survive. I've got one in the front garden which has been in the ground for a couple of years now, and I don't protect that. Although because it's not in a very good location, the soil's not very good there, it doesn't get very big. So even these smaller pups on this are much larger than the one I've got in the front garden. The soil is just terrible at the front. So yeah, that one always ends up freezing to the ground because it's only about a foot tall. But it does come back every year, so I know it's very hardy in my location, this plant. But yeah, it's done really well. Just a shame that we get such bad weather that ruins the leaves. But yeah, it's progressed really well. One thing I will be doing this year is I won't be removing the leaves, so once these get frozen they'll just dangle down, and I will leave them just dangling there, which won't look very pretty. It'll look a bit like that. I mean, for the ones that are dangling down now, I'll just remove just for aesthetic reasons, but over winter I'm going to leave them because that might actually help with a bit of extra insulation around the pseudo stems, a bit of natural insulation rather than artificial with frost cloth. But yeah, that's all I'll be doing this year, and we'll see how that works out. I'll report back obviously in spring, or even in the middle of winter if we have a really bad cold spell. We'll see if they still stand. Like I said, except for those extreme rare events where I might decide to wrap just one or two of the largest stems. So yeah, like I said, I'll definitely keep you up to date on how these bananas get on, and of course I'll keep you updated with how this does over the winter. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this update. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be sure to keep you all up to date on how this gets on. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.